Good morning, Rabbi Isai. Valdik. Okay. So it says in the Mishnah, Komatz v'ala b'yodei tzroir, or Garger Melech, oi koret levar apostle. He does kmitza. He puts his hand into the flour, and all of a sudden he notices inside it's like a stone, a piece of salt, a piece of levina. Just to show you, because we're going to be talking about this levina at the end of the sugya here. One piece like this. One piece of levina. Levina comes in pieces. One piece. Ask the Gemara, I need 3 cases of something. The list could go on and on. A piece of wood, a piece of glass, a piece from the moon. Like, what's the point of 3 cases? Says the Gemara, Tzricha. Daf Yud Aleph Amud Aleph. We're 10 daf into Menachos. It's just going to get easier and easier and more fun. The Itonet Tzroir, if it would say a stone, Mishum Delav Asakrovi, stones don't go on the Mizbeach. You can't put it on the Mizbeach. Avamela. It's in fact, it's Loizu Avzu. We're saying something small and then we build on it a Chiddush and then we say another Chiddush. Melach de Basakrovi, we know that every carbon you have to pour a bunch of melach on. Even in a mincha, you pour the melach on it, you pour the salt. The Basakrovi, it's something that's available to the Mizbeach. Ema Diskasher. So I would say that salt is a chiddush. I would think that you could put it on. He found a little salt inside the mincha, not a big deal. It is a big deal. It's possible. V'itana melach, and if it would say those 2 things, a stone and melach. The lo yikva v'adei mincha mi'ikara, because it's not of the mincha to begin with. Aval levoina, the yikva v'adei mincha mi'ikara, even this kasher, but levoina is part of the mincha. You put the levine on top. So think that it's part of it. It was part of it. It was part of the mincha. So you found it later on in the kmitz. It's not a big deal. I think it's kosher. And it's also possible. Okay, so you have 3 things that are possible. Next part of the Mishnah. Why is it a problem? Because think about it. This amount, these 3 fingers amount of flour is your carbon. That's what you put on the mizbeach. But you don't have 3 fingers worth. You have 3 fingers minus this stone. So therefore, it's possible. Or it's a little. Here it is. The point is, it's not a kmitza. Ask the Gemara, my ear, why are you telling me? Because it's more, it's less. When this stone is smack in the middle of the flour, you have a stone in there, it's chatzitza. Omar Rabbi Yirmiyah min atzad. Says the Gemara that the stone is over here. Right over there. Min atzad. Now what's interesting is, why is it called min atzad? It's really milamala. It's over here. Says Rashi, it's not lamala. Oh, you guys didn't see it. Here we go. The stone's this way. See? Because what happens is when you take your hand out, you immediately turn it sideways, 90 degrees, so that the flour doesn't start coming out of the bottom like this. If I would leave it like this, it'd come out. You see? So you turn your hand. Now it's sideways. It's on minatzad. So what's the point? There's no chatzitza. There's no chatzitza. It's on the top. Chatzitza means it's inside. If it was in here somewhere, that's chatzitza. Between the flour and my hand, you have a stone. But the stone is all the way on the top of everything. It's minatzad, from the 2 holes, either from the pinky or from the thumb area, but that's minatzad. Okay. We go weiter. We're going to be using this a lot today. 10 lines down. Omar le Abai le Rava. Ketzat koimtzim. How do you do kmitza? Omar le kede kamtze inche. This is exactly how people do it. If I told you to take a handful of flour, what would you do? So you go like everybody, normal people, they go like this, and they grab a handful of flour. How many fingers did I just use, Rabbi Yisai? 5. How many are you supposed to use? So ask the Gemara, Esvei, It doesn't make sense what you just said. The Gemara goes through all the names of the fingers. Zu zeres, the pinky. Zu kmitza. So this finger next to the pinky is called kmitza. You ever wonder why it's called kmitza? Because that's what you do kmitza with. It's the last finger of the kmitza. So, I got to go this way. Hold on. Mark, if you want, just put that picture up with the fingers. No. Go to the list of all the things. No. Yeah, that's better. More. Yeah. Otazoi. Very good. Okay, so here you have the 5 fingers. The pinky is called zeres. The one next to the pinky is called kmitza. The next one is amma. The next one is etzba. The next one is agudol. So says Rashi, each one does something in the Torah. Zeres, the pinky, is how you measure the choshen. The kmitza is the finger next to it, and that's what you do kmitza with. Amma is the middle one. So if you measure from the top, the tip of the middle one, to your elbow, is how much? An amma. By a lot of people. Mine and Eli Stefansky's are probably a little different. Unless you want to do it, let's measure it. No. Okay. And then you have etzba. What do you do with the etzba? If you learn zvachim, what do you do with the etzba? Oh, the zrika. Pour the zrika. And then you have agudol. What do we do with agudol? We just learned yesterday. Huh? Malika. What else? The who? Mitzayra. That's what you said? Mitzayra. You put the blood on the thumb and you put the oil on the thumb. Very good. So what's the Gemara's kasha? You all saw the kasha coming. When you stick your hand in, Abai says, like people do kmitza. People stick their hand in. They go like this. But it's not true. Kmitza, it's even called kmitza because it stops right there. It's like this. It's not like this. It's only 3 fingers, not 5. Says the Gemara, Elo lahashvois. It's like we said, kmitza is kmitza. It's 3 fingers. But the pinky and the thumb are there to straighten it out. It has to be perfect. It can't be too much. It can't be too little, and we're going to see soon. Talk to Gemara. Heichi Ovid. No, so what do you do? You take your 3 fingers, you go all the way to the palm, down. Is this good like this? No, apostle. Has to go all the way down to the bottom of the palm. Oh, what's mevayrats? It's geschmack. It's a lot of fun playing over here. This is mevayrats. You see how it pops out on the top? No good. It has to be like this. Can't have a bunch of flour on the top like this. It has to be inside the koim. It's bi kumtsoi, inside his 3 fingers. Maybe you should go like this, mamish like nothing. By the way, it's hard for me to go here, but I'm going to do it anyway. Mevayrats is right over there. That's too much. And then Rosh Eitz Ba'osav might be out of order. Here, this is Chayv Shol Pasyodai. No, I don't like that. No, not true. Not good. Oh, Rosh Eitz Ba'osav, right over here. See? Folding up his fingers like this. Oive, how did the flour get over here? That's not good. I just blew it on the tablecloth, not on the shawl. It has to be full. Full palm. Okay, said you don't know what's going on over here on my pants. Wow. Okay, great, like this. When you have a very thick bread or thin bread, you break it up into pieces, and then you do kmitza with those pieces. I don't know if they have a piece of bread here. or something, a piece of cake. They have? I'm going to try to... I tried to do it this morning in the Hebrew shir. Nobody was there with the bagel. And it was a murder. It wasn't going well. The point is that it's extremely tough to chop down bread, a tough bread, like a cracker with your thumb and certainly with your pinky, and to make sure that it doesn't break too much, because if it breaks too much, then it goes inside. It has to be even. You have to cut it like a laser beam to the top of your fingers. And says the Gemara, "V'zuhi avoda kosher shebamikdash." This is the hardest thing to do in the Beis Hamikdash. That's the only hard thing in the Beis Hamikdash. What's Melika? Let's show Melika. I guess putting your besides it's tough to do, you have to have a certain personality, but you have to have a very strong finger. But there's also chafina. So what's chafina? So he comes in with two things. First, he has this pan. It's full of coals. And he has this. It's the Torahs. Now what? If one drop falls into the pan, it's all over. Like, I'll show you how hard it is. So he goes like this. Like this. This is one way to do it. There's another way. I'll show you in a second. Nothing could fall. Nothing. I'm out. But there's another way. Hold on. I don't know if I could. Let's turn this. There's another way. He has to go like this. That's why they'll go all week long. They're practicing this. Okay, shkoyach. This is Yoshi's way of doing it. I like Yoshi's way better. Very nice. So the kasha is, what are you telling me? This is the hardest thing in the Beis Hamikdash to cut the mincha like that. We have other things. This is one of the many. Not many. There's a few, 3, 4 that are tough. One of the 4. Omer Papa, Pshitali, Meloi Kumtzoi Kedekamtzi Inchi, like we just discussed, to do a koimet, like people are doing. Boy, Papa, do I have to stop the shir, Mark? It is. Okay. Boy, Papa, Komatz Beroshi, it's Ba'oisav Mai. What happens if his palm is facing down, like this, and he grabs a little bit with the tips of his fingers? Minatz Dodin Mai. This is interesting. I don't know if I could demonstrate so well, but he puts his hand, palm up, hand down, pushes hard into it, and somehow then he's able to grab some, like this. Instead of putting his palm in and turning, it's palm up, pushes down, and then he gets up. Or, if he goes in like this, straight in, and curls his fingers. Instead of this way, like a tractor does, he goes the opposite way. What's the halacha? Teiku. We have to wait until Mashiach comes to know the answer for that. Omer Papa Pshitali Meloi Chofnov is referring to the Torahs. It says in the Torah that the Kohen takes Meloi Chofnov, which means 2 handfuls. So what's normal for people to do? 2 handfuls. Meloi Chofnov is like this. Yeah, I should be looking that way. Meloi Chofnov, like this. So the Shaila is similar question that we had a second ago. That's how people do it. It's Ba'isav. Mao. His palm is facing down, and he scoops his eye with his fingers. Minatz Mao, or the opposite, he goes inwards this way, and he goes like this. Chofam bezu bezu. Let's say he did like this, everybody say one hand, and then he did the other hand, and then he put them together. Oh, now I have two hands. V'kerben zula zu mao teiku. Boira papa dapki lekoymens bedafne demona mai. Okay, I think I could take these off. I think I'm done for now. Let me just make sure. I hope most of it went on my pants and my Gemara and not on the floor in the Beis Medrash. Okay. Wow. It's Kedai. How did my jacket get so dirty? Okay. So says the Gemara. More gewaltige stuff. Dapki lekoymes bedafne demona mai. Here we go. If the kmitza is on the wall of the bowl, what's the halacha? It needs to be inside the kli. No, it's inside the kli. It's great. It has to be on the bottom, not in the kli, but there has to be hanacha. There has to be a placement inside, and you didn't place it inside because it's on the wall. Tegu. Boy marbar ravashi hafchel amon v'dapki. So I showed you already. The bottom of this has its own bowl. It's not meant to put things in it. It's meant to make it, to give it some height. So what happens if you put it in there? Let's see what it looks like. Here we go. Here's the bowl upside down. And what happens if you put the koimetz inside that area? The dapki the koimetz ba'ariso the monamai. You put it on the bottom of the bowl of the kli. You need to put it inside a kli, and you put it inside a kli. Dilma ketiknoi being on. The leg has to be like normal fashion. Nobody typically puts stuff in there. Teiku. Zok deilegi mishnah. Keitzadu oisa. Poisha this voice of a pasyoda, which we already discussed. He takes his 3 fingers and puts it like this. Ribo shamno chisa shamno. The oilam remembers how much flour do we put in a mincha, everybody? What do you say? 1 isaroin. How much oil do we put in? 1 lug. So what happens if he puts in more than a lug of oil? How much more? The Gemara is going to say. If he puts in too much oil, chisa shamno, too little oil, chisar levinasa, too little levina, psula, it's possible. Says the Gemara, chidomi ribo shamno. What does it mean exactly? He doubled up the oil. Instead of 1 lug, 2 lug. And mashma, that if it's half a lug, more, not a problem. It's because he doubled it up. As the Gemara, maybe the pshat is, he put in oil from his home. It's chulin, it doesn't have kedusha, and that's why it's possible. Or he used oil from another mincha. And if you're going to tell me that's not a problem, he asks a question. We know a mincha of a chayt of a sinner doesn't have any oil. If you put in oil, it's possible. What oil are we talking about? If it's its own oil, it doesn't have its own oil. If you put in oil from your home, or oil that belongs to another carbon, another mincha, harmlessly possible. You just told me it's not a problem. Elamai, it is possible. You're right. Says Rebbe Lezer. The reason why it's not here, because that's pashut. If you bring oil from your home or you use oil from another mincha, then it becomes possible. The chiddush is each lug by itself is another lug that can work. Each one by itself, individually, could be the real oil for this mincha. So I would think, I would have a havamina. Each one is right to be the entire shemen for this thing. it shouldn't be possible. Kamashmalon that it is paisel. But the bottom line comes out from this, that if it's less than the whole thing, it's also a problem. We're trying to say even a large amount that's enough for the whole thing is also possible. But less, a half a lug, on top of the regular lug that you already have, is also paisel. How do you know that oil that has gedusha to it creates a psul? Because he had a problem with the Mishnah. What does it say that there's too much of its oil, shamno, with a hey at the end? It doesn't say riba shemen, there's too much oil. Riba shamno, its oil. What does its oil mean? That it's kaddish for this. This is riba lo shemen. Even though you're mafresh 2 full lugin of oil, here's a minchas chayta, chisa levanasa. If he doesn't have enough levina. So it says the Gemara, Tana Rabbanon, Chasra, it doesn't have enough levina, it's possible. Tana Rabbanon, Chasra v'amda al koiret echad psula. He started off with this amount of levina, and he's left in his hand one piece. It's the sap that comes out of a tree. It's like something that comes out of a tree. It's hard, like little stones, little rocks that, you could imagine what it looks like. It comes out of the bark, yeah? So if out of your whole amount of levina, one stone is left, psula. Al shnei kratim, says Rabbi Yehuda, two pieces, what are we going to call them, Rabbi Isa? What are these called? Zwei shtiklich, shtei krutim, zwei shtiklich, ja. Gscheide. The Rabbi Yehuda. So Yehuda says it's enough, it's good, because you have two fragments, pieces, shtiklich, granules. Rabbi Shimon Oimer, Al Koyet Echad Kshera. No, comes Rabbi Shimon says one is enough. Pachas Mikan Psula. If it's less than one, not good. Yud Aleph Amud Beis. But Tanya, it says, and it's Rabbi Shimon, not Rabbi Shimon. It seems like it doesn't say Rabbi Shimon, but Rashi seems to say it is Rabbi Shimon. If you have an entire kmitza, you have 99%, 1% went bye-bye. Yeah, 1% went bye-bye. What's the halacha? No good, it says over Reb Shimon. So again, we saw Rashidas Reb Shimon, we have machlokes. 1 granule left, 2 pieces left. Okay, either 1 or 2. Over here we see something very different. If 99% is left, it's a lot more than 1 or 2 pieces. 10 pieces. But you don't have 100%, what's the halacha? Pasul. You need 100%. From when you did the kmitza till the end. Says the Gemara, you're right. If so, you have to say, Tni, Kharit Levaina, Shechasa Kol Shu Pasul. So no, you didn't read it right. What you have to read, or you have to put it in, it's not if it's missing 1%. If it's missing 1% of the 1 granule, since 1 piece is enough, if from that 1 piece, a part of that piece went missing, then it's no good. But Avada, you don't need 99%, you don't need 100% of the initial levina. Rabbi said, I don't know if you knew, maybe this is the first time you're hearing this. You could bring a minchas levina. You could buy a bag on Amazon of frankincense and bring 1 kmitza to the mizbeach. Here, Rabbi Shalom, I'm giving you a gift. Nothing to do with flour. All levina, from beginning to end. Oh, that, if 1% goes missing of that, possible. Similar, we have the same halacha with the kmitza. If you're doing flour, I'm not going to stick my hand in. If you're doing flour, and a little bit goes missing, you can't put it on the mizbeach. So too with the levina. When it comes with the mincha, and some of it goes missing, no, it's not the end of the world. It becomes kosher. Why? Because as long as you have some left, it's okay. We have 3 shitas. Rebbe Meir holds whatever you did in the beginning, that's what you need at the end. We're talking about the levina. You did a whole handful of levina, make sure that's what you have at the end. No, all you need at the end is 2 pieces, 2 granulars, 2 shtiklach. Reb Shimon Sovar, Koimes B'tchila, V'koyer Decha B'soif. You need one shtickle, that's it. They all learned it from one pasuk. All the frankincense, all the levana, you put it on top of the flour. Whatever you did all the way in the beginning, that's what you need all the way at the end. Review the savar kol. The word kol means kol shehu, meaning even a little piece left is enough. Even one shtickle. Less than one shtickle is not good. It doesn't mean a kolshu, like a granular of salt. It means one nice piece. A fragment. Ace. Now, so that's one. How did he get to two? Because the word ace, l'rabis koyed acher, comes to include a second one. Reb Shimon ace l'darish. Since Reb Shimon doesn't learn the word ace as a second one, so he's left with one. So we have a machlokes, one or two pieces, and according to Reb Meir, the entire amount, 100% of what you start out with, you need to have at the end. This is dafka machlokes if it comes together with flour. When it comes back on its own, whatever you start out with, that's what you need to have all the way at the end. That's why it says in the pasuk asher ala mincha, that it comes on top of the mincha, that anything that comes together with a mincha, then you could have something going missing. But if it comes on its own, this is the carbon, and even 1% went missing, no good. The levina, what's bezichin? Rabbi Isai. Gewaldig. Show it again until it gets mamish into everybody's head. This is the shulchan. Choppy. Why is it choppy? Start again. Do it again. These are the 12 lechem aponim, but there's also two bazichin, two spoons, special spoons that have inside it the levina. The levina, the frankincense. This you burn on Shabbos, and once you burn it, you're allowed to eat the lechem aponim. But the levina of the bazichin, the re'akol shnei k'motzim b'tchilu, shnei k'motzim b'tzoyif, you can't have anything missing. That's mamish like the mincha, like the kmitz of a mincha. Pshita, why is it so pashut? So you have to understand, very simple, because there's no word that says kol. Kol teaches us a kol shehu. Kol shehu means even a little piece. But you don't have that by a lechem aponim. So maybe you have to have the entire thing left. The same lechem comes with the bread. Kasher ala mincha damya. So it's mamish like a mincha. It's like levina that goes with the regular mincha. Levina that goes with lechem aponim is like levina on the mincha. It's the same. Kamash will learn the different. If a little piece goes missing from the lechem aponim's levina, can't be makrivet. You can't eat the lechem aponim either. But when it comes on its own, whatever you did in the beginning, you have to do at the end. There's no difference between a levina that goes with a mincha and a levina that goes by itself. Let's just do this little sugi over here. It's also easy. We'll get to the Mishnah. Chisa levanasa psula. Yeah, okay, it's fine. It says in the Mishnah that if you're missing a little bit of the frankincense, of the levina, it's possible. Hoyiter ksheira. It's mashma. The Mishnah doesn't talk about adding. What if you add a little levina? It's okay. If you add, it's possible. You know when it's possible? When you double up. You did 2 full handfuls of levina, that's no good. If you did 1 piece more, that's not a problem. Now we're going to say the same exact halacha all over again. And what's the Gemara's kasha going to be? Why do you have to say the same halacha twice? What's the same halacha again? Sorry, no, before we get there. If a person set aside 2 full handfuls, 2 full kmatzim of levina. This mamish looks like a guy in California, you know? Yeah. Huh? Hawaii. You're right, Hawaii. What's up, dude? Shefrish lo shnei kmatzim. Shefrish lo shnei kmatzim. 2, Rabbi Isai is no good. Why is it no good? Because you doubled up. You're not double. What if one got lost? Gewaldik. You had a nace, one got lost. So it depends when it got lost. Koydin kmitza lehukbu. Before you were able to do the kmitza on the flour, so it wasn't part of it, and one got lost. Gewaldig. Now you're left with one. You're supposed to only have one, so it's fine. But achar kmitza, but once you did kmitza, hukbu. So those two guys became part of the mincha. Two is no good, so it's possible. Now we have the same exact identical halacha when it comes to the lechem hapanim. In the lechem hapanim, how many kmitzas do we start off with? Two. In two bezichin. Two spoonfuls. So now we're going to do the same thing. We're going to double it up. So how many do we have now? 4. He put aside 4 instead of 2. So now it became puzzle. It's double. And 2 of them got lost. So it depends. If it's before you remove, the kohanim remove the spoonfuls, so it's not considered anything. It's not part of the lechem hapanim, so it doesn't passel it. But once the kohanim remove it, hugbo. Why do you need the second case? It's identical to the first. Says the Gemara, the same keeping the bar comes. If you look at these two guys. They're standing there. They're waiting to be taken. They're there. You know exactly what the kmitza is. Memela what? Here's another musig that we didn't know. What time of the day do you take these 2 spoonfuls of levina off the shulchan? What time of the day? 6 hours, but that's the shir that we said the other day. It's after you bring the carbon musaf. We had this svara the other day. The time came. The time of our carbon musaf came. So, and it's sitting there, ready to go. So it's as if you already took it off. And Memela, the 2 extra guys are part of the lechem hapanim. Why? Because it already came off. But it didn't come off. It almost came off. It's just the time to take it off. Kamashmalon, since you didn't really take it off the shulchan, it's only the time to take it off. So those 2 guys are not puzzled. They don't puzzle the bread. And if they get lost, then we have the right amount, and therefore it's okay. Kamash Malon, Rabbi Sai, have a wonderful day.
Merit the schus of spreading Torah throughout the world. Sponsor a shir today. MDYsponsor.com or sponsor at MDY.com.